You are watching or listening to Purham and Associates. For more information, go to rpurham.com or follow me on all social media platforms and subscribe at RPURHAM. Thanks. See you over there. Hey, good day to you all. Welcome to Permanent Associates. I'm your host, Randy Purham. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend and stayed out of trouble. And I'm assuming that was like a No Kings protest again this weekend. I know here in Austin on Saturday there was something to that effect going on up there at the Capitol. I was gonna go, but my better half said stay my ass at home. So I was like, man, you will never let me have any fun. But anyways. Next time, there's always protests up there, so I'll catch them one day. Anywho, hey, hope y'all are seated and get your seatbelts on because we're going to have a great show today because I got my good friend and a very special guest with us today. We have none other than Jason. Oh, welcome back. How you been?
You wrote the same for you.
Awesome. Hey, give us an update. It's been a while since you've been on here. I want to say it's like maybe almost a year, if I recall it correctly. I know it seemed like a long. It seemed like you was just on not too long ago, but it's been a while. Give us an update as to what you've been up to.
Yeah. First and foremost, I know you know about our fentanyl testing operation. That's going very well. We
Yeah.
are trying to save as many lives as we can. We came up with a brand new four-panel for high lethality. Basically, the DEA is stating that they're finding a lot of, well, almost in 50% of xylazine. I'm sorry, 50% of fentanyl they're seizing has xylazine, which means that does not even respond to Narcan. So the only lifesaver out there, obviously, that's been designed and is being used in mass doesn't even work on this. So we designed tests for nitazines, fentanyl, xylazine, and benzodiazepines on the same strip. That way, any substance, if you test this and it comes back with any of them, you're probably going to die. So that's been going really well. It's still a challenge, obviously. Still, the administration is very new, and it takes a little time to get this involved with them. But that's one thing. Wimkin's doing incredibly well. I know we're going to talk about this, but we just launched. I authored a bill called the Digital Free Speech Reparations Act of 2025, which I should be talking to with 10 senators today, even though they're on recess. This is such a big deal. I know you know this situation very well as a conservative influencer and a podcaster. This is designed to basically get people back what was taken from us. I mean, demonetization, getting your channel shut down, losing sponsors, everything you could possibly think of from, big banks, big tech, even the Biden administration for politically motivated censorship. So we have that going on, and a class action lawsuit as well, to where we're going to bring this to the forefront and hopefully make big tech pay.
That is awesome, and thank you for that, because I can see the headlines now. Big tech pays reparations, and people just like lose their mind. They could be like, "What? Wait, huh?" Yeah, that would be awesome, because you're absolutely right. For the last, I would say, 6 years now, 6-7 years. I mean, it's still happening. Even to this very day. The social media platforms, they've been censoring and deleting people off the internet. It just happened to me again last December. This December before last, where they Facebook just totally just erased my page. I was just like, wow, just no warning, no, hey, there's a strike or you're suspended. No, they just totally said, you know what, this guy's crazy, just delete him. So I'm like, okay, fine, but I had to start over from scratch. But you're right. It's refreshing to see that some of these tech giants have seen the error of their ways and said, you know what, okay, we screwed up, and let's try to bring things back to a decency, a sense of decency for everybody. But on the other hand, you have the legacy media who has not quite came on board, and the FCC recently just was talking about moving, or implementing some policies, if you will, to move legacy media back into the hands of local media and the podcasters and everything else, because they're more reliable these days. I want to get your thoughts on that, and how that's going to reshape, I guess you could say, the media landscape.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I mean, you already have the left and obviously legacy media saying this is Trump trying to threaten your free speech, shut down your free speech. And no, basically what it's doing is it is just getting the fake news out, plain and simple. I mean, everything we've seen that's been put out by the legacy media, probably well into over 90% of it has been disinformation. The same thing that they, were censoring us for and trying to shut us down for. It's blatant misinformation, blatant disinformation, and they've never been held accountable. I mean, you're starting to see these networks, you're starting to see these network shows, obviously Stephen Colbert and the Late Show. You're starting to see, after USAID funding is pulled, and obviously PBS and public broadcasting, to the tune of $1.5 billion in taxpayer money being pulled, they can't survive. So they have literally just been doing what they can do to, assert their own opinion, and probably the opinions they've been getting paid for that they no longer can do. And it's having a big shockwave. I mean, and here's the thing. Colbert just didn't get canceled. They canceled the entire franchise of The Late Show. So, it's even bigger than people thought. But listen, when you probably alienate over 55% of your audience with your jokes and, with your content that's always the same echo chamber, you're just dumb right off the bat to even try it. So, and how does anybody stay in business that loses $40 million a year for over 4 years in a row? It just doesn't happen.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree with you. And I never watched Colbert, actually. I always catch the post clips, like the little 30-second reels of what happened type of thing.
Yep.
And I never found them to be funny. The other guys, the other late night show guys, I find them a little funny. I may not agree with their ideological spectrums, but still, nonetheless, you just look at the surface of the content. It's like, okay, that was pretty good, type of thing. But Colbert, I was like, nah, no, he just no. Next, but along these lines of bringing legacy media, or I should say, bringing local media and podcasters into the more of the forefront. I still have a concern that the big media, the big tech guys, they still own these affiliate networks and whatnot. So it's just going to be Operation Mockingbird in a sense. They're going to still feed them what they want them to report about and talk about. And so it's going to be kind of like it's all you did is just change out personalities and you change the station number. And so it's still the same. So the credibility factor is still going to be a concern. And I wanted to get your thoughts on that. Wait, do you share that same concern, or do you think it's going to be a different dynamic going forward?
You know what? I really don't, because people have the ability to make their own websites now. They can live stream to their sites. We help people that every single day. Obviously, Wimkin exists where you're going to put this show on, and no one's ever going to censor you there. It's all about getting the eyes to it. And one of the things that this does too is, I know you're talking about, them saying they own the content that you put on their platform. I do still believe Section 230 of the ADA should be repealed. I mean, I'm saying that as a social media company owner, that actually it protects me. I don't want it. I absolutely do not want that. Getting rid of that gives everyone a chance to legitimately tell their opinion and, do things without someone saying, oh, we have to take this down because it goes against what we think is in the ADA, Section 230. But I really like it too, because it's almost like the initial print advertising, so to speak. But when you had newspapers, I know not many people read them anymore, but you had all sorts of opinions, you had all sorts of people writing for these things, and you made your money not so much by distribution, but by ads. So you can go out and get your own sponsors. You can go out and get local sponsors that believe in what you're doing, and really bring it back to small businesses as well. I mean, it's running a podcast like you do. That's a small business. Right. So it's good to put things away from big tech, big banking, and obviously legacy media. So I really like everything about it.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Section 230, because for some people, they have a hard time wrapping their head around the idea of Section 230 and what it means, because it was a big buzzword, during the Zuckerberg and Twitter, fiasco with the 100-byte laptop deal. So a lot of people, so can you explain to us real quick, like, what is Section 230 and how it affects social media companies for the current audience that may not be familiar with what we're talking about?
Yeah, I'll try to make it as simple as possible. It's the American Decency Act, and Section 230 allows platforms the right to state they are a publisher, meaning that they can take down anything they want to at any point in time for any reason, and the content that you actually put up on their platform, they essentially own that. So there's so much, I guess you would call, a blanket coverall of protection for them to say, hey, we're allowed to do this. It says it right here. And then they also have it backed up in their bylaws and their terms and conditions. So, it's really just giving them all power to do whatever they want with your content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And people don't realize that they also monetize off of your own content and may not even tell you about it.
Indeed.
So, I tell people, I say, hey, you may be a social media influencer, you may be making all this money and everything else, but just understand that at any point in time, that could go away. That could be just like, Mox next to you. And they're like, no, they can't do that. And I'm like, okay. I know firsthand. So, and you're absolutely right. And I want to get into, I want to like kind of like dovetail into that, the social media influencers and content creators that are out there. I personally cannot keep up. I mean, I have my favorites that, I try to tune into, and even nowadays, I kind of like get, like miss their episode or miss, like a whole week of their shows and stuff like that. So you're getting, it's getting to the point where there's so many of them that, like, everybody that I know is a social media influencer of some sort. Yeah. So it's kind of like hard to keep up with, everybody and their content. Do you think that we're getting to the point where we're going to have an oversaturated market of content creators, social media influencers, and then it becomes echo chambers where no one's getting the viewership, no one's getting the monetization that they need because it's an oversaturated market. Do you see us getting to that point?
I don't. It could happen. Of course, it makes sense. Obviously, I mean,
Yeah.
but realistically, if you think about like legacy media, generally you only have 5 or 6 stations to pick from. So obviously, there's nothing that's oversaturated there. It's either left or right. Really, not so much in the middle or reporting, fairly, so to speak, on just fact, not opinion.
Right.
I think that everyone is going to be doing better because people can actually make a choice now. They'll make an informed choice to say, hey, listen, this is real. The fake news has been this for a long time. Of course, a lot of people know this, especially on our side. We know this, but I understand what you're saying. That certainly that maybe everybody's going to start a podcast, but there's only probably I'd say 10 that are really running the entire podcast industry, so to speak. I mean, Bongino was one of them, but obviously he's in government now.
Yeah.
Benny Johnson, obviously, Joe Rogan. I mean, we're talking about like huge shows, and it's really just it's good because they can find out the person that they want to follow. They can obviously jump forward and back and forth to anybody they think that might agree with them, or they like their opinions. And it's not just 10 shows on a daily rotation for
True.
ABC, NBC, CBS. Well, I guess there's not many on ABC. The real legacy medias, not so much. The cable news, absolutely.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I got you, and I agree with you. Actually, I just see it that as I scroll YouTube sometimes, or even social, even like the social media platforms, X. There's podcasts, there's that, this show. I'm like, damn, all these people got shows. like 100 of my friends got their own podcast going on thing, But
Yeah.
and then, but you look at like their viewer count, even with mine, you look at you see low viewership. It's like, and so I started to develop this theory, like maybe it's because there's so many of us that
Yeah.
we haven't reached that that plateau of getting so many followers because we wasn't there first type of thing, or our content may not just be that good. Who knows? But in either case, I see your point, and you're right that people are going to be selective on what they listen to, and they're going to build their silo from that selection. But there's also on the other side of that is going to be like there's going to be so many people to choose from that it's going to be like, yeah, I could watch a cooking show here, how to make M&Ms here, and all this stuff that you see on TikTok and stuff like that. That people start to gravitate towards what they like, and then now the legacy media is totally gone, and then you really don't have news anymore. You have to now rely on hopefully that influencer that you're listening to has some information for you based on the news, type of thing. And that's a good thing, I in my opinion. So we'll see how it goes. But I want to ask you also, how's Wimkin doing? And I hear that it's doing so well, but I want to hear it from the horse's mouth, the CEO himself. I hear y'all going public.
Yeah. So we've decided because Michelle, thank you. So we decided, essentially that now it's the climate for this. Obviously, everything we just talked about plays right into it in terms of what we're doing, but we are taking Wimkin public to the NASDAQ. We've been successful enough in the face of complete adversity. I mean, we had legitimate enemies try to shut us down, including the House Select Committee on January 6th. Obviously, big tech, the Biden administration. I mean, we got through all of that. And we got through all of that when they banned us from the app stores as the #1 trending app on Apple and Google Play. That's legitimately why we were banned, because they didn't like our popularity. So, we have the pedigree, we have the reputation as one you can trust. We're the only platform that stood up and fought instead of, capitulating and, turning over and saying, sure, we'll do what you say just to keep our apps alive. We got through it. We thrived through it. And now it's time to become a household name. We were becoming one, and then they made sure, I mean, we would be probably at 50 million users right now if we weren't pulled down. We were getting, at some point in time, we were getting 50,000 a day. I mean, that's huge for any app. That's huge for X right now. But that's what we want to do. We want to become a household name. We want to have Wimkin News, WMKN, standing for World Must Know Now. We want to have our own, news platform. We have Wimkin Financial now that we partner with Stock Traders Daily on, which is the best by far AI predictive stock index, and they've been doing this for going on 26 years. And they wanted to partner with us because our software, our technology, everything that we bring to the forefront. And so we have a lot going on, Randy, and I appreciate you letting me bring that up. But it's something that truly, I think it's long overdue, and it's something that when people actually realize, wow, I didn't know this existed, or I forgot this existed because they deplatformed you on Apple and Google Play. And then truly the sky's the limit there, because we are the only platform designed like Facebook and the only platform that offers true free speech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I will confess to you right now, I have not personally been on Wimkin in a few months because I got new phones, right? And password thing, I was just like, I'll get to it later, and later never came back, type of thing. So it was one of those. But I have it on my computer, and I jumped on there a few weeks ago, and I think I posted something or I was reading something, and I was like, man, there's a lot of changes happening on here. I'm gonna have to come back and check this out. And so congratulations to you on that, and that is a very exciting. I want to ask you, along with this the going public, says going on the NASDAQ. When is this launch going to happen? How can people say, you know what, I want to get in on the ground floor of this. I want to invest in this right now, today. How can they do that?
Well, we really don't have anything left for them to do. We did an initial funding round with S-Core shares, and then we went to Series A in 2023. And then for loyal members, I did do a 1% reduction and offered 1,000 Series A shares at their original price, because they've actually they've increased about 300% in terms of our platform value. So unfortunately, there's really nothing anybody can do at this point in time. But when they come out on the NASDAQ, it's something that you should definitely take a look at.
Yeah, absolutely. And do y'all have your NASDAQ symbol yet?
Not yet. We are now going to go through the SEC audits, and
Gotcha.
So that takes a little bit of time. But we had a couple individuals bring this up, and I think we might do it. We might try to go public on January 6th of 26, because just imagine that being, I'm thinking we might wait just a little bit. I mean, because it does take 90 to 120 days anyways. So, if we could do that and pull it off on January 6th, and we get to ring that bell on that day, oh my goodness gracious, that would just send a message.
Yeah, that would be a good enough you to Congress. Yeah, do it. I love it.
Yes.
I love it. Yes, that would be awesome. I agree. Now, I wanted to ask also, with the company going public, are you concerned? Because I know Facebook and well, actually not Facebook. X went through this. Well, no, it was Facebook. I'm sorry, let me back up. It was Facebook that went through this. They had to change, I guess you could say, their terms and conditions, and to satisfy the board. And being a public entity, they couldn't allow certain things to go on. So, are you afraid that going public that would change the dynamics of how Wimkin is ran now?
No, I don't, and I'm a majority shareholder, so no one's going to be able to force us out and such. But I mean, I understand what you mean, but reputation-wise, we've never had anybody do anything on our platform. We don't allow pornography, we don't allow nudity. I mean, I was on Facebook early this morning, and I saw an actual paid ad with a nude woman in it. Like, first and foremost, they have cloud recognition for images to see this, and they still let that go through. Plus, I'm sure you understand Facebook, they have a manual ad review process. Sometimes it takes 48 hours.
Right.
And they still let that through. So we don't let anything like that on our platform. It's a teen-rated app. We consider that a crime if someone shares something because a teenager could be seeing that, and it's against the law. And we don't allow any criminal activity on our platform. So I think we cover it all with that. I'm not concerned about people talking about their opinion of vaccinations, about how Biden was one of the worst presidents, if not the worst president in the history of the country, probably the worst. About Nancy Pelosi having 9 drinks a day. They can say whatever they want as long as it's not threatening anybody, as long as it's, not true hate speech to where it could bring libel and slander onto our platform, of course, or any liability back. And, don't try to sell illegal drugs. Basically just don't be an a-hole and you'll be fine on our platform. So that's in our terms and conditions. But, I don't see anything in there right now that would have to change. And, to be honest with you, again, our pedigree and what we've gone through for going on 6 years now, it speaks for itself. So anybody asking us to change that would be foolish.
Yeah. Okay. Good deal. Good deal. And I know that's going to probably be a concern for the current users. They're like, oh man, because I will say there's a lot of great content on Wimkin, and some of it is borderline like, ooh, you wouldn't get away with that on Facebook or X, but nonetheless, it's free speech, and so I know for that audience, they would probably have that concern that hey, going public, that means that now this is a public held entity, and we have to share that space with opposing views and everything else that would not like that, and then now you're going to be getting inundated with complaints and reports of inappropriate content and all that kind of stuff. So I don't envy you on that part. So, but yeah, that's all I want to ask about that. But please share any final thoughts you may have, and how can people follow you and support you, sir?
For anybody who's been censored, obviously, and anybody who's been demonetized, canceled in any way, shape, or form, think about it. It goes to your business. I mean, if you were debanked, or you were even so much as shadow banned on a platform where they, basically stifled your algorithm and you couldn't sell your products, you couldn't reach people. All of this counts down to the smallest detail. And this bill that's going to be coming out, the lawsuit, it's completely valid through equitable tolling. So, we've done it from a period of the beginning of 2019 through current, because it is still happening. But the fact is that if you started losing $50 a month, you lost your account that was making you $2,000 a month, that's still hurting you to this day, meaning that it's still an ongoing loss. So the statute of limitations is tolling, and there's no reason that they can shut it down for that. So I would love everyone to go to my personal website, which is JC Sheppard, spelled like you see on the screen, jcsheppard.com, and then find on there bill/class action, and you can enter your information there. Everything is kept private, and it will only be shared, obviously, with legal counsel, and it costs nothing to be a part of this.
Ooh, sweet. I am going there and I'm signing up because I got some reparations due to me. So
you do. You absolutely do.
Yeah, and I got the screenshots from YouTube removing my stuff from not only January 6th, but the COVID. I mean, just you name it. Me talking about just all kinds of stuff. They like, hey, this is go against our community standards. It's like I wasn't talking about it. The Hunter Biden laptop. Oh my God, all those episodes.
Yeah, and that was true. Yeah, that was totally true. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So that's a massive claim right there.
Yeah. So I look forward to it. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and make a budget for that payment now. But Jason, hey, I appreciate you taking the time to be here, brother. Hey, congratulations to the huge success, and I look forward to continue to watch Wimkin grow and the company and all the great things that y'all are doing over there. It's very inspiring and motivating, for us, that's, the little guys, we're down here like, can we do that? Can we do that? And you are already doing it. So it inspires us to, continue to do what we do. So we truly appreciate that and salute you, sir, for that. And be safe out there and have fun and God bless.
Hey, thank you so much, Randy. I appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you back on the platform.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna get back over there. I'm gonna get back over there. I gotta reset my password there, or find it on my
Gotcha.
computer. Yep. So, all right, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Take care,
You
ladies.
too.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Sheppard. Hey, real talk. Check out the platform. It is actually a really good platform. Kid you not. I'm gonna tell you right now. It looks like I'm gonna pull it up for you real quick. So when you go to type it in on the App Store, you know how to find it. Like I said, me. Well, yeah. See, I still got to sign into your account. I can just keep forgetting to do it. But let me see here. All right, I believe this is the password. Look at that, got it. Display over other apps is disabled. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I got all kinds of. So, but that's what it looks like. Like I said, it looks just like Facebook or anything else. But it's a really good platform. I got 4 friend requests, two inbox messages, 57 notifications. All right, I'll look at all that later. Anyways, folks, but yeah, seriously, real talk. jcsheppard.com, like he said, go there, check it out to complete. If you've been a victim, of the social media or the tech companies censoring you, demonetizing you, and all that good stuff, you got some claims there you can go make and whatnot. Like I said, I got screenshots from mine when YouTube would take down my stuff and send me a notification and emails and stuff like that. I got all that stuff saved. I was like, one day I'm gonna be vindicated, and I will have the evidence, the proof. So, and here we are. We're coming to that. So that's awesome. But folks, it is Monday, and I got a lot of stuff to do today. We got meetings like all afternoon, so I need to go ahead and jump off of here and get ready for the next meeting. I might swing by the Capitol today to check in on some things, but then again, I'll probably just do it tomorrow. I really hate. I don't know how you feel about this, folks, but real quick, I hate doing stuff on Mondays, especially a Monday morning, coming off of a weekend, especially a long weekend, like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday type of thing. I hate doing anything on Monday mornings because it feels rushed. It feels like, it feels just like a lot of pressure on you for no reason. It's like, is it that serious, really? Because it's Monday morning. So I don't know. So I try to not have my Monday started until later in the day. That way, I'm already up and then decompressed and got the weekend out of my system and say, okay, all right, now I'm ready to do some work. But I don't know. You let me know what you think about that, folks. But I'm gonna holler at y'all later. I'm gonna jump up out of here. Like I said, I do have to get ready, get in the car here. So, all right, I will catch you all on not Friday, later on the week sometime, maybe next week. I'm not sure. This week is gonna be crazy. So, all right, y'all be safe out there. God bless y'all, and ciao, ciao. I hope you enjoyed today's program. You can follow, like, share, subscribe on Spotify, Substack, Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, and your news. And also, you can download Let the Truth Be Told app on your favorite streaming platforms, such as Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Roku. Take care. God bless.